As an empowered woman and as a securely attached, differentiated self woman and person, attachment trauma informed, I'm a 5D mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group and the lovely woo woo pseudoscience podcast host. So I bring human, spiritual, and spirituality elements together. And as all of these and above, but primarily a securely attached human being, but I can say that it's not hard to love. It's not hard to do and feel emotions for those of us who have this whole self, and it's a differentiated self. So you have your own thoughts, your own emotions. They come up and you share them. You don't project them with an outer critic and you don't inner critic. So you don't think you can read people's minds and you don't create negative nightmare stories. You don't have fantasies. You don't ruminate. You don't do any of that which would be codependent type or any of the adaptive child and maladaptive child stuff. At this point, secure attachment person, whole self would be able to thoughts, emotions. Okay, so it's not hard to love because secure attachment means your body has that oxytocin love gene hormone on. You see yourself, your authentic self, your inner child, you're the adult of you. So you soothe yourself, you soothe your nervous system. And then your nervous system is safe. So you're in your social engagement, the ventral vagus nerve. And I'm now securely, as my authentic self, Maria, with you, with my child parts all asleep. I'm attachment trauma informed, okay? So when you say to me, is it hard to love? No. It's not hard to feel? Nope. Do? Nope. Got emotional window welcome and a thought window welcome, okay? But we all will deserve and want someone who values our time and what we bring to the table, and those who say what they do and do what they say. And that is that they don't want to change us or save, and vice versa. Okay, so loving, respecting, and accepting each other just the way we are is what a healthy self-worth person, which is an empowered woman, man, or they will do. And that is why it's not hard to love for people who have emotional awareness, self-regulation, and accountability in the forefront. That equals self-awareness with thoughts as well, okay? And here we do personal development, self-help, self-improvement, your spirituality journey. Sciences and spirituality are like this, so you live a life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self, and we know that every person is a 0-1-year-old to begin with. No demon, no devil, no energy vampire, no dark aura, no mantles of mental health. You're not saying I want to be immune to a narcissist. You're saying I want to support people who are healing. And if there's anybody in general, human being, who doesn't see me, and therefore I don't feel felt, my sense of self doesn't feel felt. It's not about love being hard. And it's not about rejection is protection. And it's not about they're an asshole necessarily and the asshole. No, it's that they and I are not on the same vibe. And they have their own self. And more than anything, if you're authentically, completely, always empowered, you're going to know that there's a part of their self that they reject, not you. So you're not a mirror to another when you are a healthy, self-worth, empowered woman, man, or they. That's why love is not hard, doing emotions not hard, feeling emotions not hard. So we don't look for ways to feel that we're doing some great invincible thing with those emotions and those relationships, okay? When somebody's looking for ways to cop out of doing emotions, is very interesting, okay? And that's something of a side note. So when you know that relationships and love is not about it being hard, emotions being hard, it's all about the sense of self of you being felt, accepted, and loved just the way you are as your differentiated self. So the way you think and feel and that you're expressing to me. You want me to hear you automatically. That's why we're all a 3-year-old. The 0-1-year-old is there too, and that is where the expression of you is that felt sense of self that you will hear a lot of attachment trauma therapists, researchers, academics share with you. Things like this. Here is Kurt Thompson, MD, The Soul of Desire. Our deepest desire as humans is to be known. He has a little dash, to be seen, soothed, made to feel safe and secure. That is all the embodied brain of yours. So the attachment system, including your defense system, but the attachment system is what wants attached. Now, your defense system will be on if you were in the first year of life not securely attached, which is why people who have not been securely attached, they will want to return home to their self, and their body will seek to help them return there. Okay, so when you meet someone as a person who can be yourself, show up, say what you say, and do what you say, it's very easy to love. Very easy to expand all your relationships to build secure connections. And like that guitar string that we talked about, where Daniel Siegel shares, you're going to have a person who's going to be that guitar string. And I'm going to vibe with you as I'm an open portal, because I'm not a mirror. I'm differentiating and linking. And I'm going to see you, and I'm going to soothe you, and you're going to feel safe and secure if you welcome yourself just the way you are. If you don't, then that's going to potentially be something different, okay? So again, it's not hard to love or to do or feel emotions. What it is the I want to be seen so that I can be soothed, so that I can feel safe and secure to be my whole authentic self, however it is that I'm thinking and feeling about sharing an experience that I had of life. Okay, so we're going to move here. This is where our relationships are built on that. And for those of us who have healthy self-worth, we're empowered, we have no trauma charges lingering. We're going to be eyes that have a person who will begin to feel, if they get overwhelmed and they have non-bilateral integration and they're not aware of who they are. And so when I notice, for example, Dr. Daniel Fox's channel with all of those who have borderline personality, narcissism personality, they all feel felt, seen, understood, and he humanizes them and helps them know all of personality disorders are healable. Here's what the studies are finding, the data, versus those who do rumors. Yoga does not bring demons out of you, but what you have in your body, thank you, Bezel van der Kolk, Stephen Porges, Peter Levine, is the score is trauma charges. Okay, so in the muscles, in the bones, in the tissue, thank you, Peter Levine. The brain, the neuroscientists like Patrick McNamara, no demonic possession. You have a fear receptor. It goes wonky. Your brain tries to heal itself from trauma memory that's lingering, because your brain is also a biology and it wants your trauma memory time stamped, because that trauma memory was broken, and the hippocampus is where all things are time stamped. So it continues to try to heal itself. And so emotions come up, thoughts can come up. And that's why mental and emotional intelligence and moving into your inner growth mindset here is where it's easy for those who are already on a path to their healing journey. They've reparented themselves. They know their window of welcome or tolerance, or at the very least, they know that their moods don't define them, that personality disorders don't define you. Your authentic self is still home here as you learn to claim all that is yours, and of course in your due time, because it's not going to be quick and fixed and done, and it's not broken. But there are many who feel broken until they learn that it's not broken. It's that those trauma charges, they are stored in the way that they were of those ages. So again, there are people who don't believe in this stuff. I know, but that's where the flat earthers are, is what I call them. They don't want to be called flat earthers, but the data sciences, again, they're continuing to do research on attachment trauma. We have different groups. So some people, they're more in love with the ancients, Freudian, and they don't adhere to what updated information is out there, and they will tell you why, okay? And with that being said, we're here for food for thought and personal development, self-help, not to stick any rules. We don't do that at IHP. And most people who are trying to empower through knowledge, through voices, stories, and all of that, they're not trying to prove points. They're trying to share what you can do to live a better inner and outer well-being life, particularly, again, when it comes to personal development, self-help. And everyone deserves to feel valued and to have people say what they will say and do what they say. Okay, so consistent, contingent communication. Your 0-1-year-old will want that. If you didn't have it, your 0-1-year-old will be afraid of it because you didn't have it. And since trauma is relational and intimacy is the core, thank you, Terry Real, your unfinished business is what comes up when you're in relationships. Okay, so if love is hard for you, then you have not accepted yourself yet in your entirety, and you don't know how to love yourself first. And that's not something impossible to do. No, it's very possible for you to achieve a full circle and get to be your own safe haven, secure base. So to activate your nervous system and to see yourself, the which nervous system? The ventral vagal, the ventral vagus nervous system, social engagement. I should specify that one because our nervous system is consistently active, but you don't want to be in your sympathetic. So once you're in a restorative embodiment self, you'll notice that because your body knows rest and ease. You're talking with people, you'll notice if you start to get a little rigid because that's where the body's moving into a different state, and you can recalibrate. That's the word I use. And so again, what is nice about when the sense of self of you is felt and seen, accepted and loved, is that you are being basked in a big ball of energy of love. Okay, so you will feel that oxytocin gene hormone. You'll feel your secure attachment, your ventral vagus nervous system. The social engagement system turns on when you're felt and seen by a somatic empath. So by a person who's present, a person who's not mirroring you, no, a person who's differentiating, like I'm Maria, I meet you, nice to meet you. I will link and I will connect, and that vibe, I will perceive your nervous system, and depends how intuitive you are and what's going on in yours, but you'll perceive me too. And again, if you're cool with being yourself and you're cool with others being whoever they are, and you're not chit-chatting your brain away, and you're not doing any of that, I don't like that person because they have a different way of loving life. They're polyamory, I'm monoamory. How dare they do this? How they're a mystic. They're a Reiki master. I'm not going to meet any people like that, but you never know, right? Behind the scenes. So at the end of the day, again, when you're good with being you, I've been good to be me since I can remember. So once I, for example, got clairs, I didn't have a shyness about it. With my panic attacks, I didn't have a shyness about it. In fact, this one person said, "Wow, it's really nice. You just talk about it without a problem." I was like, "Yeah, why? I wouldn't have one." No, because some people, they're ashamed. I was like, yeah, I know there are. There's others who also, they don't understand how to, not understand. They take personally when people don't understand what we go through. I don't take it personally. I just don't want to hear the, let me tell you how to live a better life because I think I know how and why and, so, but I understand because people care about each other. So people will always be in our business. That's what love means. It means I'm going to motivate you to lead a balanced life, right? But I'm also going to listen to you and leave you alone if you tell me leave me alone. And that's the nice balance between those who are unconditionally loving. We all have flaws and imperfections. And when it comes to love, it's easy. And feeling emotions and doing emotions is easy because we're self aware, we're self regulating and accountable. And basically, we'll end with this. It was when I was a teenager that I realized all these people are saying, we're different, we're different. And I would say it too. And all of a sudden, I'm like, but wait a minute. If we're all saying it, I don't think what we mean is we're all different. I think what we're saying is we're misunderstood by our own parents and our brothers and sisters in our home. And I'm thinking it sounds like a sob story, which is a falsity of all just kids being ridiculously kids about, oh, nobody gets me. Okay? And so now that I'm a grown up, when I see this, I'm like, okay, nobody grew up. Okay? And when somebody that you like the one, says, nope, I don't like you because you're a mystic, you're polyamory, you're a weirdo, you don't be like, oh my God, I need to change myself. That makes me think of Greece, where I was like, what? How dare they both go and switch it up? How old are they? Because you only do things like that. And to a moderate degree, but we all can do things like that. I know I as an adolescent and teenager and young adult, I'm thinking, yep, it stopped once I was out of my relationships, the first two serious relationships. So by the time I was, how old? 20. That was done. I was like, nope, you take me as I am, or you can go screw yourself. I don't give a shit. And that was that. So yeah, that was actually something that I remember clearly, and it was because the second relationship I actually decided that I would allow myself to make a compromise. And I remember to this day, because I have it in the visual, I'm like, okay, if you give in to this one, he's going to end up asking more because he's already feeling inferior. So that means he's trying to feel that he's not inferior, and that's never going to end. But you do things, and it was the shortest lived of my long term relationships. In fact, the day that it ended, I'll never forget how that one went, as I got to humor myself inside, not in front of his face. But this is the part of where you will know when it's happening. A feminine knows, divine feminine, mystic, intuitive. Just letting anybody understand this. So we are always with stream of consciousness. It's not something that disconnects because you're a restored embodiment. You are a person that is, it's not provable, so I can only share with you it's a consistent communication and conversation, and it's just one of the most beautiful gifts that I can ever share, and that I'm honored to be with those who understand what I'm talking about. um, but all I can tell you is, as this thing was happening, I was like, finally, it's done, But I also knew I was going to still process the emotions in a series of events, and it did. It happened that way. So you grow more loving of who you are, and more, this is what I am, and there's no negotiation. So you can, go out that way or that way. You go wherever you want, but don't you come tell me to change. You don't understand what it means when somebody knows who they are, do you? Okay, so yeah, this is the part. Come on over here if you want to move into more of a healthy self-worth, and or move into it completely, depending on where you're at. But it's not about the love being hard. It's actively your inner child. You seeing your inner child allows you to feel open-hearted here, and then to understand that if somebody says, I don't like you, you understand it, and you work with those emotions, and depends how old you are, but really it's about you deciding, do you think you're worthy the way you are or not? It's really. And when people actually have heard me say that all people are worthy and they want to argue with me about it, no, they don't. They just don't want to believe me, and so they end up making it into equations so that they can lead me to where they want to go. So, something that a person who understands right now, what I'm going to share is, when you get consistently told that you can't do life with human love narrative because you keep meeting people who don't know how to just love themselves, you get used to hearing a lot of mirrors. And I'm not the mirror, they're the mirrors of themselves. And then you get to say, oh, okay, so I guess they have worthiness with humans and they dehumanize people. Okay, that's their sense of self. But, I'm not going to go around trying to say more about that. And so, again, it's about us getting to be seen, and then we get to be soothed, and we get to expand ourselves. And it is the most amazing of feelings when people take you as you are and they say, wow, you're really beautiful. It's not because they appreciate you as if you have more worthiness than somebody else. See, this is where, when you're empowered, woman, man, or they, healthy self worth here, every person, 8 billion and growing, is a human. And you will feel sad in your thinking brain, because I have enough knowledge to know that humans suffering love, they can get out of it, feel sad for their bodies. Their bodies are not here like mine. And so, yeah, I'm not mad because I'm not going to go correct them. There's nothing to correct in a human being's desire to not do emotions easily or feel easily. They want laundry like the Zen master. They continue to think that we can't use our brains. I know you can use your brain. I'm explaining it to you. Not the smartest person. Now, some people have said, I can tell you can do emotions easily. For me, no, but I can understand what you're explaining to me, and I can try, and I want to. So when you see people say, yes, bring it on, Maria, that's a person who's chosen. My inner child is worthy, and I'm going to choose me, and I'm going to do emotions because I'm a human, versus some else's story of anointedness, or, mantles of mental health people and mantles. So the felt sense of self, it's really nice. when you get accepted and when it has happened and when you are welcomed. And that is the most amazing of feelings when you're rejected and told that you're completely unlikable. And that has also happened. And it's not fun. No, but it doesn't say, let's change, Maria. No, it's more of, okay, sure. Again, I'm not going to do the gesture. I'm okay with cursing. I won't do the gesture. That's how a healthy self worth woman or person will say. It'll be like, yeah, sure, fuck you, but okay, I'm cool. You be you, I be me. We're all a piece of the same consciousness. In the meantime, I'm going to go have fun with human love people who don't tell me that I'm needing to be changed when it's a bullshit statement, by the way. I mean, the only ones who we want to see changed are the unkind, human suffering, love narrative people because they don't have their inner child in the forefront. So, yeah, I want to see all of them changed. And you know what you find out by people who do the work is they do feel changed and they feel home back in their self, though. So they know I'm home with me, the true me, not that distortion that was over there that was fear mongered and whatever else shit happened and da da da. So they're not gonna be like, ah, they're gonna be like, ah, so happy to be with loving people over here. Yay, we have a good network, healthy self worth, 5D relationships. Come on over. We support all people who are healing trauma seriously because there's serious people and then there's the mantles. The mantles, they psych weaponize words, they throw it, they call each other names. Let's just leave them alone. And I look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.